Alright, y'all, let's get into the 2022 Soul Train Awards. Y'all ready? Let's go.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Bright here, the R&B Kid, and I'm back again with another episode of On the Bright Side TV. Welcome back, y'all. How y'all doing? We're doing very well. Listen, y'all, I definitely have to hop on this camera and talk about this year's Soul Train Awards like I do every year. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving too before I get into the award show. Hope you guys had a bunch of beautiful, low vibrational plates. Hope you guys fellowship with you, had a good time with your family and friends. Just enjoyed the holidays, enjoyed the downtime. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope it was beautiful for y'all. If y'all been watching me for a while, y'all know the Soul Train Awards is my favorite award show every year, and for good reason. Every goddamn year I look forward to the Soul Train Awards because I feel like, compared to, we love the Grammys, we love the Oscars, we love the BET Awards, we love, the BBMAs and the MAs, they're cool for the most part. But, I feel like the Soul Train Awards are just, to me, always the most enjoyable and consistent award show around every goddamn year. I don't know what it is, from the performances and the talent that they get every year to like just the vibe of the show, the audiences, the music itself. Y'all know I'm the R&B Kid. R&B and soul is that's my heart, that's my home. That's what I live for in music. So not only genre-wise does it just speak to me, but I feel like just actually the award show itself is just always done so well compared to every other award show, low-key. And it's funny because I feel like it's probably one of the most underrated award shows around, yet every year it always delivers to me one of the best shows that I saw all year, every year. So shout out to the Soul Train Awards for just being a legendary entity, and I'm so glad it's still in existence doing its thing. I wish more of our A-list, B-list, C-list, black celebrities and just, leaders of black Hollywood and black music would always support it every year, not just when they're nominated and not just when they feel like it. I really just wish we had more, star power, more support from all of our biggest black and brown celebrities to, every time we have the Soul Train Awards. I feel like a lot of people just show up whenever they're nominated or whenever they feel like it, but I'd like for this to be something that's more like a BET Awards. Like I like the same energy we give the BET Awards where you see everybody and mama there in the audience. I wish we had that for the Soul Train Awards. I feel like it deserves that, but that's a long conversation for another day, but that's where I'm at. But let's talk about this year's Soul Train Awards. They went down in Las Vegas. I think they were filmed early in November, but they aired this past Saturday on November 26th in Vegas. And as always, the Soul Train Awards are just a great venue and a great format to be able to celebrate not only our legends and the older generation of R&B and soul artists who paved the way for for the current generation. We celebrate them with the Legend Award and just getting people time to perform. But I also love how the Soul Train Awards also gives a great stage and a platform for all of our new, crop of, artists and our new generation of R&B artists to do that thing and showcase their talent and their music. So that's the reason why I love the Soul Train Awards. I feel like it's a great show that has a lot of great balance of things going on. I feel like there's something for everybody with the Soul Train Awards. You get a little bit of, the older generation, you get a little bit of the young generation, you get a little bit of, a little bit of hip hop, a little bit of Afrobeat. You get a little bit of everything, but even not outside of R&B, but it's like almost everything is celebrated and everything feels unified. I love it. Alright, so let's get into my overall thoughts on the show, guys. So overall, I thought the show was really great, but I have to be honest, I just felt like the show lacked a little bit of luster, kind of how I feel like I've been used to experiencing the show in years past. I feel like this year in particular, it definitely didn't surprise me when I think about just the overall climate in music right now, the overall climate in the world, and just what I've been seeing with a lot of our black singers, especially in the R&B, hip hop, or just urban space. I'm not surprised, but I definitely did notice a definite lack of star power that contributed to the lack of luster that I feel like I saw the show. And I think what also contributes to the lack of sheen and luster that I feel like I'm used to seeing with the show is not only just the lack of star power, but that's just also a lack of a dynamite host. I think Dion Cole as the host this year, I thought he was good, and I love Dion Cole. I think he's a great, great guy, great comedian. I love his energy, I love his vibe, love him. But I don't think he was a dynamite host like we've seen with Tashina Arnold and Tisha Campbell. Whenever they come on for the past few years, they would just, their energy was through the roof. I forgot who was hosted in previous years, but I feel like, Dion Cole was cool, but he didn't deliver the punch we needed in terms of the laughs and the energy. He was great, he was serviceable, but he also didn't help like bring up the energy of the show that much, even though he was still good. And there was definitely like a lack of like, you know, creative and like out of the box moments throughout the show. But yeah, besides Tashina and Tisha Campbell recently, I feel like the Soul Train Awards is not known for being a show that has like a ton of like corny bits and all that, or like a ton of like, you know, just stupid like things that don't need to be in the show. But actually, yeah, besides them, I feel like Tisha and Tashina definitely contributed to a lot of that in past years, and it was always great. But I feel like this year just really lacked like really unique moments, like really, you know, mic dropping. Like, I didn't need anything dramatic, but I just feel like besides like Chante's performance, I feel like there was no like really big moments that happened, and that's not really like anyone's fault. And it's not like I'm thirsty for like anything like dramatic or like crazy to happen, but it just felt like there was a lack of like creative things that were happening throughout the night. There was a lack of like memorable moments, but nothing was bad. Like, so that's the thing. It's like nothing was bad throughout the night. This show wasn't bad at all. It wasn't subpar. It just felt like it lacked a little bit of like the boldness and like the sheen and like luster that I feel like I want to see with an entity as legendary and as iconic as the Soul Train Awards. But I don't think that's really anyone's fault in particular. It kind of, I think, was just kind of like I think that's just a product of the whirlwind of the industry kind of being in a weird place right now. Whether, you know, we're thinking about like our legendary artists or even the new people. I just think award show producers are having a hard time figuring out how to really make live shows pop the way they used to in a generation that's so focused on seeing moments through social media. So I definitely, you know, understand that there's a disconnect when it comes to really marketing and really making award shows pop how they used to. But I still think they could have done a little bit more to kind of make the show a little bit more interesting and a little bit more memorable across the board. But just in terms of like, you know, the foundation of the award, like just the bare bones vibe of the award show itself this year, I thought it was still great, besides all those things I just mentioned. So, but yeah, in terms of the technical stuff, I thought the audio sounded great, the music sounded great throughout the night, everybody's mic sounded good. Shout out to Adam Blacks and the BBE band for the musical direction. As always, they always kill it. Yeah, the staging, the lighting was great, the staging was good. I feel like, you know, the pacing was great throughout the night. I feel like all the audience shots were on point throughout the night. So I'm very proud of the crew for how they really handled the show. I feel like all the camera work, the lighting, staging, and the music and the audio, it all sounded great. And I'm telling you, I don't know why people don't give enough props to how well and how seamless the Soul Train Awards always seems to be almost every year compared to the mess that is often the BET Awards or like even the big awards like the Oscars or the Grammys, where we'll see so much fuck shit happening. Like the Soul Train Awards always is just so seamless and just a vibe throughout. Like, so yeah. In terms of all the technical stuff, I thought this year was great as always. In terms of a few other things I was annoyed about this year, first things first, I really don't understand why Lucky Day didn't perform something. My man, Lucky Day, aka David Brown, was in the house with his nice, good ass, clean, was a purple suit on, looking good. He looked good in that little diamond encrusted suit they had on. He was in the building but didn't perform something. I don't understand that. Lucky Day is on fire right now. He's probably one of, I want to say, maybe not in terms of numbers, but definitely in terms of talent and music and output, definitely one of the R&B guys right now in this new generation. So I don't know why he didn't represent for the new generation with a performance of something off of his Candy Strip album. Like, he should have performed either, you know, Over or Guess or Effin' Sound. Like, he should have done something off of his album. I don't know why he didn't perform. So that made me a little mad, especially because he was in the building. And besides that, as always, like I say every year, I do wish there were more of the actual awards presented throughout the night. And I definitely understand why they try to avoid it, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the winners, like, you know, Beyonce and a lot of other people were not there. But for me, I don't really care if a lot of the winners are not there. I still feel like a lot of the major awards should be presented. Not every single award, but I feel like a lot more of the major awards should be presented during the telecast. Like, I always feel like we should present, like, you know, best R&B, you know, female and male artists, you know, album of the year, song of the year. Like, I feel like we should also present all the major awards, video of the year. You know, I think they presented the Ashford and Simpson Songwriters Award, and I think that was like the only award I want to say they presented during the actual telecast, which is insane. Yeah, I don't think they didn't present any of the award. Oh yeah, and they presented best collaboration, but neither the Isley Brothers or Beyonce were there. So it's like, yeah, they only present like 2 awards on the actual telecast, which is like, damn, really? But, you know, I get it, because pretty much none of the winners were there. But then again, that goes back to, why are the winners not there? Like, But yeah, so that's another thing, that's another conversation for another day. But besides that, I thought the actual awards were amazing. So let me just quickly go through the actual awards themselves, and then I'll get into the performances and all my thoughts on all that in a second. So album of the year went to Beyonce for Renaissance. We love that. Come on. Come on. Song of the year went to Beyonce for Break My Soul. I was cool with that. Love Break My Soul, even though that was a fire category. I'm not gonna go through all the nominees because you can look them up yourself, but I'm gonna go through the winners. Best R&B female artist went to Jasmine Sullivan, which I was cool with. She's had a great year. You know, great lineup as well, all these ladies, but I'm cool with Jasmine taking a shot to Jasmine. Best R&B soul male artist went to Chris Brown. I'm cool with that. Shout out to Chris Brown. I'm cool with Chris Brown winning, but personally, I would have given it to probably Lucky Day. I would have given it to Lucky Day, but I'm cool with Chris Brown taking it. But if it were me, I would have given that to Lucky Day. Or maybe Giveon. Best new artist went to Thames. I was cool with that. Shout out to my baby Thames. And I jogged with it, carry last. Shout out to my baby Thames. I love her so much. Really great lineup. I would have given it to probably, I'm cool with Thames taking it. I feel like maybe Muni Long was more deserving of this honor. When I think of like the R&B space, Thames has been doing her thing in like the Afrobeat / R&B space, but because Thames is more of like an Afrobeat artist and just more of like an African artist, I really feel like, and because I feel like Muni Long is, well, I don't know. Thames has had a great year, so I'm not mad at that at all. But I feel like maybe Muni Long should have taken this when I think about R&B and Soul Train, but it's cool. The Soul Train Certified Award, I went to Mary J. Blige. That makes sense to me. That's more of like a awards that represent like who's doing their thing in the older generation. Mary J. Blige definitely deserved that. Out of this lineup, I definitely would have given it to her. She's had a great year. Shout out to Mary J. Blige with her Good Morning Gorgeous album. The Best Gospel / Inspirational Award went to Mavericks in Music and Kirk Franklin, which didn't surprise me at all because they've had a great year in the gospel / Christian space. Not surprised by that at all. Shout out to Kirk Franklin and Mavericks in Music. Shout out to them. Video of the year went to Silk Sonic for Smoking Out the Window, which I'm not mad at. I don't know if I would have given it to somebody else. I did love the Pressure video by Ari Lennox. And I did love Steve Lacy's Bad Habit video too. We also have Chloe's Have Mercy here too. That was a great video as well. But I'm not mad at Smoke Out the Window. Smoke Out the Window was a really cool video. I ain't mad at it. Shout out to Silk Sonic. Best Dance Performance. I love Lizzo, but this went to her for About Damn Time, and I love her, but I wouldn't have given it to her. I would have given this award to Doja Cat for Woman. I feel like I forgot who the choreographer was, but the choreographer for the Woman video, they snapped for that video. The Woman video by Doja Cat was a great video, not only just visually, but also the choreo was amazing for that video. So I would have given it to Doja Cat for Woman, but shout out to Lizzo for taking it for About Damn Time. Best collaboration went to the Isley Brothers, Ronald Isley and the Isley Brothers and Beyonce for Make Me Say It Again Girl, which I'm cool with because that was a great collaboration. Would I've given it to anybody else? I also love, Chris Brown and Wizkid's Call Me Every Day. I love that track. We also had, Beyonce's Move with Grace Jones and Thames. That would have been cool. I don't know, this is a really great category, but they gave it to the Isley Brothers and Beyonce for Make Me Say It Again Girl. I ain't mad at that, love that track. And last but not least is the Ashford and Simpson Songwriters Award, which is always one of my favorite awards every year, as it honors, excellence in songwriting for R&B soul track. And this year it went to Hours and Hours by Muni Long. So deserving, so happy for Muni Long, so deserved. Such an amazing track, the way it was arranged, the way it was written, it's so beautifully arranged. Shout out to Muni Long for performing and writing this song. It's this brilliant gem of an R&B classic. Shout out to Muni Long for this generation defining anthem, in my opinion. Shout out to her, deserved. And that were all the actual awards. Now let's get into the show itself. Alright y'all, so I'm gonna get into all my thoughts on all the performances that happened throughout the night. I'm gonna group this into pretty much 3 buckets: who I thought was the best, who I thought was pretty great, and then who I thought was good. And I actually have nobody, I actually had another category of people who were like whack or like not that great. But thankfully, I'm not surprised. Thankfully this year I have nobody that I felt like was like whack on stage. Like I feel like nobody had like a really bad performance. So in my opinion, nobody's in the really whack category. If you felt like anybody was really whack, let me know down below. I'd love to know who you thought was like not great this year. But in my opinion, I thought everybody did at least good. So let's start from top to bottom. First up, in my opinion, who had the best performance, that goes to Miss Chante Moore. Come on. Chante Moore. What can I say, man? I have to be honest, even though I know who Chante Moore is, I know who she is for sure, I'm not like the biggest fan of her because I don't really know her songs like that. I didn't really grow up on her songs. I feel like she was never really in my wheelhouse growing up as a kid and even into adulthood. So I'm not that familiar with her catalog, but I know her and I know her talent, so I've been know about her. But I wish she was someone that we talked about and celebrated more, because even though she never had like a big catalog of like hits beyond like her first album, I guess, man, she to me is still to this day one of the most unsung talents in R&B music. That, her grace, her beauty, just her essence, and that voice. Chante Moore, you are a queen. That voice, and I think she's like in her mid-50s now. Even in her mid-50s, just out here doing whistle notes like it's nothing, like she's breathing. Just out here doing whistle notes like she's breathing. No shade. Even Mariah Carey, I feel like struggles like, you know, produce her whistle notes these days. But like Chante Moore just be whistling like she's breathing. It's crazy. Chante Moore, man. Chante Moore ate. She ate that shit down. She ate down with that performance. Like, she killed it. Chante Moore went up there and performed, I think, like 2 of these songs in celebration of like the 20th anniversary of her debut album. I forgot what it was called, but that's the album that had like Chante's Got a Man on it and like a few of the songs. Some of her biggest hits from that era, right? And man, she just absolutely held a masterclass in performance in the R&B soul space. Like, she absolutely went up there and held a masterclass for all these artists, young and old. Like, just held a masterclass with vocal ability. Oh my God, just pure excellence in every department for that performance. You know, she looked amazing. She gave off this amazing energy that everybody could just feel. Just confidence, just pure musical excellence. Like, she breathes music, vocally just adept. Like, she vocally just sounded, she sounded insane. Like, her voice sounded so clear. Her tone is so beautiful. Her notes were just on point. Like, she didn't miss a note. She, you know, her choreography was great. Her staging was great. You know, the way she moved from this place to that place, like, everything about her performance was just on point. It was paced well. She sang well. It was just, everything was on point. So Chante Moore, even as someone who barely knows her music like that, I was floored and just so proud of her for showing the world again why she is and will always be one of those ones. We might not talk about her every day, but Chante Moore is one of those ones. And even I be forgetting about it, but she reminded all of us like a few nights ago. Chante Moore, you did that. Best performance of the night, in my opinion. You killed it, and nothing more to say about it. You killed it. Chante Moore, Jesus, you say you did that. Chante Moore, you did that. Woo! Jesus. Shit. Alright, so now we're in the next tier of performances. For me, these performances were not the best because that belongs to Chante Moore, but these are some of the greatest of the night as well. These performances were all great, right under Chante Moore. First up in this group is Xscape, who were honored with this year's Lady of Soul Award. Shout out to them, deserved, iconic group from the 90s, love Xscape. They went there and did a medley of some of their biggest hits, including Who Can I Run To, Understanding, Just Kicking It, I think, and they also did Tonight as well, like 4 of their biggest records. Man, Xscape, and I'm really mad because instead of this award and this moment in their career to have been focused on them and their talent and what they've been able to achieve, still being relevant and still being, you know, they're all still here with us and they're all still so talented and all that, like, after all these years. It's a shame that we couldn't have focused on that and instead we were focused on the drama with Latasha and the dress and their internal drama, which it's still frustrating to see how they have all this drama between them throughout the years. They've held it up, and it's understandable. You know, it's hard to do a group with, you know, 4 different people who are all different people, all different ideas, all different personalities, all got different things going on. It's hard to maintain a group, but Jesus, when you have a group like them that has so much chemistry vocally, it's just frustrating that we can't focus on that. Because they went up there and performed, you know, like I said, those 4 songs, some of their biggest hits, and Jesus Christ, Xscape, just simply amazing. Like, their performance when they got their award was just amazing. They all looked amazing in little gold gladiator vibe outfits. They looked amazing, and it was nothing but chemistry and vocals after all these years. It's probably 30 years since 30 years this year since they hopped on the scene. They hopped on the scene in '93, so like 30 years since they hopped on the scene, and they all look amazing and they all still sound amazing. Candy might be a little, you know, we love Candy, but you know, sometimes, you know, vocally, you know, But besides that, like, they all sound amazing, and the chemistry they have vocally, their harmonies, their chemistry. I don't know, like, what God did to put them together. I don't know, like, God was working overtime when he put them together back in 92, 93, because their chemistry as a group, as a foursome, is unmatched. Their harmonies are insane, and I'd be forgetting that too, but they got up on the stage and reminded everybody, like, why they are, also, I think, one of the most unsung R&B girl groups of the 90s, because they were quietly always killing it, but they didn't have the same, like, you know, like, attention that we gave, like, you know, TLC and Destiny's Child and En Vogue and SWV. Like, they were right there keeping pace up with those other groups, but I almost feel like they were not talked about because they had more of, like, you know, the tomboy look going on, and they, like, had, like, they were, like, quieter and, like, on the media front, but, like, musically they were killing it. And I'm really glad that with the verses they had with SWV last year, and now with this performance, it was a great reminder of, like, their talent and what they achieved in their heyday, because they really did that. Like, in the 90s, Xscape had a great run that we don't talk about enough. So yeah, they came through, performed, killed it. They all looked amazing. I love the little, like, clip that they showed, like, you know, with Jermaine Dupri and T.I. and the Brad, and a bunch of people talking about, like, you know, just their impact and influence on the industry. It was all factual, and I loved their speech, how they all just gave love to their fans, their families and all that. Just thank God for, like, you know, being where they're at. And I really hated the shade Tiny gave Latasha at the end. I was over it, but I was weak. The way Tiny was like, I just want to get thanks to all my girls. I love y'all. Hold back to Latasha while giving love to Candy and Tamika. I was like Tiny. I know I got beef going on, but can we not do this right now? Man, Xscape will always have some drama going on between them. But it's funny because even with all the drama, when they put it aside and just perform and get together and be a unit, they make magic happen. Like, they make, like, bro, they make wonders happen when they come together. It's a shame that they can't focus on that instead of the drama, but it is what it is. Shout out to Xscape, very much deserved Lady Solo Award. They deserved it for the legacy and for the career, which we don't talk about enough, and I'm glad they killed it. The performance was amazing. That medley was amazing. They just killed it. Next up, we got Morris Day and The Time, who I thought also had one of the best performances of the night. Shout out to Morris Day and The Time, man. I don't think everybody from The Time was still, like, alive and still there, but Morris Day was still here with us. He looked amazing. Shout out to just him and his legacy, man. Even he's someone I'm not that familiar with outside of his work with Prince, but he went up there and also had another masterclass in just being an iconic performer with an iconic brand and an iconic legacy in music, in soul music, and he went up there and did that. Morris Day and The Time, man, they got the Legend Award for this year, much deserved, and I'm glad that he was able to get this award and receive his flowers while he was still here to receive them. I'm so glad he was still here to be able to get that moment, because it's been deserved. I know he's always been performing at, like, the BET Awards and Soul Train Awards over the years, but I don't think he's ever gotten, like, his actual, like, you know, legend, lifetime, you know, award. So I'm glad he finally got it from the Soul Train Awards. So deserved. Man, I loved his speech. I just loved how he gave love to, you know, his family, you know, all the labels he was with, the people that helped him out all along the way, and to Prince, obviously, for, you know, helping, you know, bring him into the roles, you know, while they worked together back in the day. That was obviously amazing. Shout out to Prince, rest in peace, Prince. And yeah, man, when it came to his performance, he performed all of his biggest hits from back, you know, back in his heyday. And Jesus, guys, the performance to me was just beyond beautiful to watch. At that age, I think he's like in his 60s now, like at that age, just still dedicated to the brands. Like his brand and his performance style is so unique, and he's still dedicated to it still to this day. Like, he's not switched up, he's not changed it for nobody and for nothing. I love that. Dancing full out, sounding great, you know, vocally just singing his ass off, you know, rapping, like just his usual vibe, like just but performing full out. Being actually captivating to watch, even if you don't know his songs, like he was still like just entertaining to watch. Like he was a vibe. For me, his performance and his, you know, the whole band, it was just a reminder for this generation of artists of what to aspire to, not only here and the now, but also for the upkeep of their talent and their legacy as they evolve in their careers, and for when it's time for them to get their Lifetime Achievement Awards. Like, I really feel like he really showed everybody what it looks like to age gracefully, to have a career and a legacy evolve beautifully and gracefully, and to still be able to keep up your talent and keep up your legacy, so you can still be here to receive your flowers and still be ready to go when it's time to receive your flowers. Like, so shout out to Moore taking the time. He killed it, the band killed it, the group killed it, and I'm so glad they got the Legend Award, so deserved. And what a moment, man, what a moment. All right, next up in this tier of performances is the two of the BET Amplified stage performers, and that was Coco Jones and Q, two of my personal favorite up-and-coming R&B artists in the game right now. First, talk about Coco Jones. Coco Jones performed ICU, one of her new songs off of her EP, What I Didn't Tell You, and she killed it, man. I love this song so much. Shout out to her and DJ Camper for this record. Such a special song right now in the world. I love ICU, such a gem. Beautifully produced, beautifully sung, beautifully arranged. Just a whole gem of an R&B song. Shout out to Coco Jones. She really killed her performance. I was so excited for her. And even though she only was on for like 20 seconds before they cut to commercial, like they always do with those performances, she still, did her thing for the time you could hear her, during the live telecast. But she killed it. I love that song. She sounded so great. Her voice is so special, and she's a pure talent. I can tell. I'm really just excited to see her rise. I'm excited to see her star ascend as time goes on in the next couple of years, because she's a star, and I can't wait to see her just evolve into her greatness. Like, she makes amazing music, and she's a great person. She's a great woman. So yeah, shout out to Coco Jones. I love her. And also we had Q perform his song Today. This is a dude who I just came on the scene like recently. I found this song today like on a playlist, and I was like, who is this guy? He sounds amazing. I think he's hella young, but like, bro, his voice is so good, and like, he just has this like essence about him that just gives me like legendary vibes, like just like incoming future legend coming in. Like, he just has that voice, he has that essence about him. He has a very unique essence. I feel like he sounds and looks and feels like nobody else. He just has a really unique thing about him that you can't really pinpoint that stars have. And he came up there and performed his song Today, and he killed it. The vocal was great, his energy was great. He's only on for like 20 seconds, but it was amazing. Shout out to Q for his performance of Today. Amazing. I can't wait to see his star rise as well, because he's an amazing guy. I can't wait to hear more music from him, because his music is so dope. Like, Q, you're amazing, dude. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you do in the future. Shout out to Q and Coco Jones. They both killed their, the little amplified stage set. Shout out to them. Amazing. All right, y'all, the next group of performances I have, these are performances to me that were just good. Like, they weren't bad at all. They weren't the best of the night. They weren't like great, but they were pretty good. So first up, we got Ari Lennox in this group. She came to perform to her song Waste My Time off of her new album, Age, Sex, Location. Ari Lennox, that's my baby, that's my boo. I love her so much, and she looked amazing. She killed it, and I'm so happy to finally see Ari looking comfortable on stage. I feel like for the first time in a while, well, maybe not the first time, but it's good to see her finally looking like actually comfortable on stage. Like, she looks happy, she looks comfortable. I feel like she went through a really long phase of like looking amazing and sounding great, but like kind of just looking like she was trying to find herself and not looking like she belonged on stage. And I like that she finally looks like a star. She finally looks like she belongs, like almost like she knows she's an R&B star, and I like that for her. I love that for her. I'm glad she performed Waste My Time. To me, that was a great choice. I feel like Waste My Time should be definitely like a next single off of her album. Great song, waiting for a video for it. And yeah, I like what she did with it. I would have maybe liked maybe like a couple dancers behind her, just make it, a little more, just give a little more zhuzh. But like, to me, even without dancers, she still sounded great. She looked great. Her energy, her presence was amazing. She sounded beautiful, looked beautiful, and just, yeah, performed a really good song that just, it was also good to see like people in the audience like vibing to the song too, which I love, because I feel like a lot of times, we have this narrative of like, R&B being dead and not everybody be able to like know like the album tracks, but like, because Waste My Time is not even a single yet, so I'm glad she performed it, and I'm glad everybody was rocking to it. This is a great song, so I'm glad to see people supporting Ari Lennox, people know her music, people love her. Yeah, Ari, we love you, baby. Like, keep doing your thing. Get into your confidence, because we love you and we're rooting for you. So, amazing performance. You did your thing. You killed it. Next up was Muni Long, who did a medley of a little bit of Hours and Hours with also her new song Plot Twist off of her Public Space of Affection album. And to me, she had definitely one of the most memorable and interesting performances of the night. And I loved how Muni Long brought it back to like, when we used to see like actual like, long ass intros and like actual like, storylines and concepts for award show performances. Like, I really missed that. Especially with like, black award shows. Like, I feel like we kind of been missing that a little bit. So Muni Long took it back to like the 90s and 2000s with that vibe, which I love. With like the whole like, she like, you know, she in the bed with her dude, and she grabbing his phone, and he forgets his phone, and he's like cheating on her with like some other piece. But then like plot twist, like the girl he cheating on like got like he thinking his baby, but the baby's actually like by like his homie or some shit like that, who's played by DC Young Fly. So that was mad funny. And then she's like, oh, but plot twist, I'm actually feeling a chick now. So that was the real plot twist. I was like, okay, Muni Long. She said, fuck dudes, let me get me a girl. And I'm like, okay. So it was a whole lot of shit going on with that performance, but it was dope. I loved how they set it up. I loved the staging. I loved how like Muni was just in it. Like she was like talking and rapping and singing all at the same time. Just really giving you a performance, like a real story, like a whole mood. I loved it. And I think that opened the show. So I loved it. She did a great job. I love how it was something a little bit different. And I like the originality about, you know, with it. So shout out to Muni Long. Really love that. Next up, we got Sir, who performed his new song, Nothing Even Matters. One of my favorite R&B songs of this year. I love that song so much. Shout out to Sir for that record. Such a good song. So beautifully written and sung about his wife. He had a performance that, to me, was really good. It didn't stand out. It wasn't the best of the night, but it was really good. He sounded great. He looked great. You know, stage was cool. Dancers was doing their thing. And he sounded good. The song was great. So yeah, shout out to Sir for another good performance. I feel like he's one of the most consistent R&B guys of this generation. He might not get like, you know, he might not be like the talk of the town, unfortunately, which I hope changes at some point, but he's always so consistent. Musically and just with the performances, he's always so consistent. He always does a good job. Shout out to Sir, he killed it. And then lastly, in this group of performances that were pretty good, not the best, but good, we got the Soul Cypher, which I think happened at some point in the middle of the show. And that had Tasha Cobbs Leonard, Duran Bernard. There is nobody in the world like Duran Bernard, and I love that for him, and I love that for the world. I'm just saying, like I love that man. And Muni Long and Alex Vaughn. So it was those four doing the Soul Cypher. They all did a great job. I loved it. To me, I love how they all brought something a little bit different. You know, Duran brought like, you know, the LGBT, you know, just unique essence, that just those great vibes that like, those interesting, memorable vibes. He brought those vibes. Muni Long brought like her usual like sassy, around the way girl vibes that I loved. Tasha Cobbs Leonard, she brought the gospel, she brought the Jesus into the cypher, which was much needed. She brought those vibes to end it off on a good note. And Alex Vaughn brought like this sweet, you know, chill, you know, really like earthy, vibey R&B girl, you know, into the mix. They all really brought like a great, you know, they all really contributed to the cypher in a really dope way, and they all sounded great. They all did great. So shout out to the Soul Cypher. I loved it, and it was a celebration of the 40th anniversary of Michael Jackson's Thriller. So they all did it to the beat of Human Nature. And I think they all did a great job. I also love how a lot of them tied in like either Michael, like Human Nature, into the cypher. And at the end, they all did a sick arrangement of the hook of Human Nature, and it was great. I love that they did that. That arrangement was sick. You know why? Why did he do me that way? Like they all killed it. Like a 4-part harmony doing the hook of Human Nature. They all killed it. It was so amazing. They definitely rehearsed well because it was so good. That harmony was on point. They all killed at the end. Beautiful. Loved it. And this is the last tier of performances that I have, and that's the performances that I thought were okay. Definitely not bad, but just okay. And there's only one performance I have here. No shade to Tank and Jay Valentine, my guys. I love them. You know, shout out to the R&B Money podcast. I tune in faithfully as much as I can. I love Tank and I love Jay Valentine. Tank's one of my favorite singers in the world, one of my favorite vocalists in the world. I think Tank is something that we don't talk about enough for being, in my opinion, one of the greatest vocalists of our generation, in my opinion. And Jay Valentine, he's a great artist as well, great singer. Shout out to both of them. Definitely wasn't a bad performance at all, but to me it was more of like probably like the least memorable, or like just the least interesting of the night, but it wasn't bad at all. Like it was great. They both sounded good. You know, Tank looked good in that purple suit. Jay Valentine looked good. They had like, you know, they had like the strip pole and they had the dance in the middle. It was a vibe. Like to me, it wasn't boring, but it was just probably the least interesting of the night, but it wasn't bad at all. But they were great. They sounded good. And I like that song Slow a lot off of Tank's latest album, R&B Money. Slow is a great record. Shout out to Tank. Shout out to Jay Valentine. And that pretty much, I think, was all the performances that we had for this year's show. I don't think I missed anybody, but if I did, let me know down below. To me, I think this is another great year for the Soul Train Awards. Obviously, it has some critiques, like I said. But, you know, other than that, I think this is a really great award show, and I love what the Social Awards did this year like they always do every year. Let me know down below what you thought about this year's show. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Did you think it was okay? Could have been better. Let me know who's your favorite performance. Let me know who you thought was whack. If you thought anybody was whack, let me know down below. Let me know who you would have loved to have seen. For me, that was Lucky Day. I wish Lucky Day performed. He was there. But besides Lucky Day, let me know if there's anybody else you wish performed. Besides Beyonce, I feel like Beyonce's an obvious choice as well. It would have been cool to see Beyonce. But besides Beyonce and Lucky Day, is there anybody else that you would have loved to see perform? Maybe Jasmine Sullivan. I don't know. Who else should have performed? Who else was nominated? Yeah, we should have had Jasmine Sullivan, Beyonce, Lucky Day. That would have been cool. Yeah, but it's cool. Yeah, but let me know who else you wish was there and performed. And yeah, give me all your thoughts on the award show down below, okay? Appreciate y'all. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay? Alright, y'all, but that's my review for the 2022 Social Awards. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, guys, like I always say, live your best life, drink more water, stay woke, and if you're mad or sad, go listen to your favorite song, make you feel better, okay? Go listen to your favorite song. Alright, y'all, this has been your boy Bright, the R&B Kid. Thank you for watching, but for now, I'm signing off, baby. Bye, y'all. Peace.
I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, 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 no. I came to vibe, you came to function, just do that, baby. Don't worry about nothing, no, no, no. Relax just a little bit, you don't gotta worry, you can just